Hello there. Today we have a, how they say, tutorial for a chicken farmyard. Do you see those chickens? Yeah. So they need to be cared to to rise to become, I don't know, food and things like this. And we need to speak about how to manage chicken, and I'm going to tell you something. Yes, I had to mention before all that I'm not crazy. I mean, I'm the same guy you've met on Marcel Irnieracing channel, and I'm not nuts. And I'm not drunk, and I'm not influenced by hallucinogens substances. I'm all right, and I'm trying to send you a message. Listen, if you had those chickens and you need to control them, and you need to make the less effort to control them, what do? You just invent two systems in order to keep them busy fighting one to each other. Those chickens, in quotes, look at it. And if you want to do this in modern times, I mean, let's say 100 years, the last 100 years, what do? You invent two systems, and one of the system is called Communism, and the other system is called Capitalism. Yeah. And if you are the same team trying to control the chicken yard equally and to have good results, what do? You oppose those two systems and make them criticizing one to each other, and make them fight, and make them you keep them busy. That's the main result and benefit of it, keeping them busy of pointing the finger one to the other one. And then you are starting in Russia in 1917 the so-called Bolshevism and Communism, with Lenin, with I don't know, those guys, Lenin, Bolsheviks. And then you kill the Romanov family, the Tsar, just to get rid of the latest chain of the Christian Orthodox monarchy, Romanov family, and kill them and wipe them out, the entire family. And then you teach people that communism is something that opposed to what they used to live before, and then control them. And more than this, you oppose them, the system, another system, a demonic system, the capitalism. So Lenin guys and ideologists supporting this ideology. Good. Then we go to the rest of Europe, United States, and other regions in the world. And you invent and you invent capitalism. How do you do it? By using Marx, Friedrich Marx, Engels, who are in the same family, the same ethnic family, like Lenin and those guys. Their sign is the star. Yes, the star of David Star. And you invent capitalism, that says, communism is devilistic, is devil communism, we have to be careful. And you cultivate and you grow up this idea. Where is that? In a good ground, and this good ground should be United States, the continent, United States. So you start those two systems, and then you go to have a beer and an omelette and a caviar and a red wine, because starting those two systems, you manage to keep them busy, fighting one to each other, pointing the finger. Oh, capitalists, they are demons. Oh, communists, they are demons. Of course, there is a third system. That's the easiest one. It is called poor, keeping poverty, keeping people in poverty, and this applies to Africa and applies to Latin America, starting with Cuba, Mexico, Venezuela, and the entire Latin America. Latin America. Listen, just remember, Latin America is the country that provided Leo Messi, the brilliant football player Leo Messi, the brilliant football player, the extraterrestrial football player Ronaldinho, and also the Pele and other extraterrestrial football players. That's Latin America. So they had this third system that worked itself, poverty. And in poverty, you expect people to become humble, and becoming humble, they enlighten their souls and become better souls, and they help to each other against those ones who brought them to this level of poverty. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen because experience has proven that people in poverty became cannibals. Africa, Latin America, Colombia with drugs, Mexico with drugs and things like this, and Brazil. Just watch the gangs in Brazil, how they act, how they do it. And poverty is not a good environment for getting better souls, not at all. Experience has proven it. Normally, in terms of Christianism, poverty should have delivered better souls, humble souls, helpful souls, not ego souls. Altruistic, isn't it? Altruistic souls. It didn't happen. Just people became worse and worse and worse. So how do you keep a entire planet controlled? So using mainly those two systems, capitalism, quoted, and communism, quoted, and then you go to a beer, to a party, because those systems are controlling them one to each other, and they are doing the business you should have done. The Big Brother business, controlling everybody. And that is the RX analysis to the point we have reached at this very moment. So, you guys from the American continent, Canadians, United States Americans, and we the guys from the former communist bloc, behind the Iron Curtain, we've been lied equally. We're not enemies. We didn't like and we didn't wish. We haven't wished communism. We rejected such a schizophreny. Normally, in deep you deep inside of your souls, you have rejected the capitalism, because capitalism is something that replaces the human soul with something that is fake. I mean, profit. Capitalism replaced the human soul and his qualities with profit. That is capitalism. Capitalism is profit. If you are allied with this request, profit, you are a good capitalist. If you are not, you are not a good capitalist, and instantly you might be labeled as communist. But that wouldn't be. This is not normal, and we should get out from this matrix. We are in a trap, and the trap is on its way to close the doors. Yeah. So we are in final times now, and this is not a good. This is not a good moment for the mankind, not at all, because the doors are slightly. Not slightly. Are slow speed closing up, and probably more than 80% of the planet population will be caught inside. And thank God if we reach the 20% being caught outside the doors. Yeah, there's no reason for anybody now to be an admirer for communism. There's no reason for anyone else to be an admirer, a fan of capitalism. Both are lies, and both are part of the same trap. And this trap is has been organized by those guys who are labeled themselves with the David Star, and no one else. No one else is involved in Middle East as them, like they are. No one else is involved in Africa like they are. No one else is involved in American Congress like they are. No one else is involved in Latin America like they are. And no one else is involved in what is going on right now in France and generally in Europe like they are. Not to speak that the president of UK, he is that kind, labeled, that kind of a guy, labeled with the David Star. Yeah. What is comical is that those Nazi, Azov Nazi from that country, they haven't been condemned by the guys with the Star of David. Did you hear condemnation coming from the guys with the Star of David so far? And was regarding the Azov Nazis in Ukraine? No. Because it is not really Nazism over there. Because it's not really Nazism. They used a label that died, is already dead in the recent 80 years history. I mean, Nazism is not existing anymore. But they search for a label in order to show the people those guys are this. But in fact, behind the so-called Azov Nazism are the guys with the Star of David. And they are watching me now. And they are fuming now because I'm disclosing this thing. We've been lied. And what do you do when you found out that you've been lied? What do? You just quit the marriage. You just quit the marriage with the lie. Yes, we've been somehow married with a lie, because we've been somehow innocent, naive. All right, but today one of these days we found out that the so-called viral, during 3 years was a lie. So we found out that the so-called RUKR war was a lie, isn't it? Yes, was a lie. So now we find out that communism, capitalism, both of them were lies. So finding out that we've been caught in a trap should go to the result that we don't want to be married with this lie. So we divorce. So we try to escape somehow, isn't it? So we better do something to save ourselves, individuals, not masses. There's no hope for masses to be saved. Now is the time for individuals to save themselves according to their free will and free choice and faith. We are heading to the final moments of the humanity, not because there is a war somewhere or a pandemic somewhere else, just because what has been written in the books becomes reality, and it's normal to finish that way. It depends where you want to be caught, inside the doors or outside the doors. With all my love, my friends, all my love from an Eastern European country. All my love. All the best, guys. Do the best for you.
It's a butterfly. Well, Romeo, art thou Romeo? Thank you for your insight into collectivism, the history of collectivism, and of course capitalism, and kind of bridging the gap, suggesting that they are two of the same stone. They come from the same background. Division, divide and conquer. Yeah, something to think about. All instigated by the humans of the past, along with the Star of David. Some things to think about, guys. And how he ended was, it's too late for the masses, the majority. And that's what collectivism is the majority overrules the minority. And the minority doesn't have any rights thanks to the majority's decisions. Oh, butterfly back. The minorities do not have any rights. They will be killed, jailed, imprisoned, while the majority rules from the mini minority that rules the majority or influences the majority. Because the majority is actually never the majority. It's just the oligarchs pretending to be the majority thanks to the influence by controlling the media, controlling the governments, controlling your minds, the mass formation. Yeah. Save yourselves. Is it too late for the masses? I've been sharing the news on Irnieracing News here for a year and so to try to help the masses to stand up. Like that butterfly just flying away. Is it too late for the masses? Should I keep going with the news to save the masses, or should I save myself now? Because we all know I've been attacked personally by the RCMP, specifically harassed, intimidated by Conrad Herbs, and how the Crown will not give me disclosure, and they stayed the charges of the first ticket. And the elusive detailed security report that apparently exists as per my CRC complaint investigation with the Professional Conduct Unit of the RCMP, Sergeant Failure, who says it does exist after I walked his hand to go get the report. Took 5 months for him to not do anything until I literally had to walk his hand. Where's the detailed security report? Why haven't you requested the detailed security report? Who is the redacted witness? Well, so he says that redacted witness is, well, guess what? Steve Rath, you know, who I suspected was the only security person that called the police and instigated this whole thing. And he's the autographer of the detailed security report that they refuse to give me, which I will need for disclosure. I need full particulars for the next ticket and for my provincial court for the small claims from Herbs suing me. But why is the RCMP trying to cover this security report? Why don't they want me to have it? What does it say? I would only wonder and speculate that it does not show good faith on the RCMP or the security of Kelowna or the city of Kelowna towards people's right in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, 2B, 2C, 2D, their right to peaceful assembly, their right to association, and my right to freedom of press. Who knows what that security report says, guys? I want to know. Thanks for listening, guys. Romeo and Marcel.